This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. Welcome to Women's Wealth Wednesday, where we give you really great financial information for future planning and retirement. And joining me today is Caleb Doan, the Vice President of Foster Financial. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, we're kind of matching.
There we go. Yeah, we are.
This happens a lot. Okay, so Caleb, each Wednesday, we have been speaking about the Indiana retirement public system, right? And you've been giving so many great tips over the weeks. But we're going to conclude that today with something that I think a lot of people will want to hear about, how to work over the summer.
Yeah, exactly.
How to work when you are off. So share with me what we'll discuss today.
Yeah. So it's a pretty common thing, especially for teachers when they're off in the summer. They might get a part-time job, and some of them even continue that after they retire. So maybe they're working for, a friend who's a business owner. They've got some admin role that they kind of do from June through, the end of August or something. And when they actually retire from teaching, they might still want to pick up some hours over the summer or, maybe in the winter now that they're kind of free around the clock. And a big question we get is, how does that actually impact my financial plan? How does working part-time, does it impact my Social Security? Does it impact my pension? What if my spouse is still working? What if they're fully retired? So I figured we could kind of talk through a few of those questions and see where it impacts things.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start off with people who are still employed, have not retired, and they're just on summer break and they want to pick up a part-time job. How will that impact them?
Yeah, so with that, there's relatively low impact from a retirement or from a tax perspective. You just have some excess income, which is great. So you have excess income, maybe you can allocate all of that towards your retirement accounts or whatever it might be, but that can be a good place to earn excess income while you're still working and maybe allow you to retire a couple years sooner if you kind of sock away extra money over the course of the year. I'd say the biggest impact comes when somebody retires. Now there's kind of more rules with it. For Social Security specifically, if you retire prior to the full retirement age, which for most folks it's 67 now, if you retire prior to 67 and are collecting Social Security, there's only a certain amount of money that you're actually allowed to make before your Social Security starts getting reduced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're under 67 and you're collecting Social Security, at least right now, that limit is $22,320.
Oh, we love these exact numbers.
Yeah.
So specific.
The IRS loves it. So basically, for every $2 that you make over that threshold, they would reduce your Social Security by $1. And so, sometimes with part-time jobs, maybe you wouldn't be making over that threshold. Maybe you'd just be under it. But sometimes if people are making over that, we'll either, delay Social Security maybe until after they're 67, or we'll just try to earn under that and kind of enjoy your retirement.
Right. Okay. But we had spoke before about Social Security, and there are benefits when you do wait a little longer to collect it. Isn't that right?
Yeah. If you wait longer to collect it, your benefit goes up when you do actually turn it on. So there can certainly be some benefits if you are still earning income. Maybe you're working part-time and your spouse maybe is still working for a year or two. You might have enough income between your spouse's work and your part-time work to cover your expenses. And if that's the case, we might just delay Social Security if you're not actually going to be using that income. So that's kind of one thing to consider. Another question we'll get is, does it actually impact my pension? Because of course people in the Indiana public retirement system, oftentimes they'll have a pension.
Right.
So they're curious, will my pension be reduced? And that's almost never the case. The pension, it's completely separate. It's not through the Social Security system. It's of course through your former employer. And so it doesn't matter how much money you make after that. You still get the full pension.
Okay. And pension, that's on a distribution plan, right? People don't get the lump sum of their pension.
Right. Yeah. Typically, with pensions, you get it in a monthly basis for the rest of your life. And importantly, if you're collecting Social Security and you're on your pension, the money that you're earning from the pension doesn't count towards that threshold for Social Security. The only income that counts towards that $22,320 threshold is earned income.
Okay.
And the pension isn't considered earned income, it's retirement income.
So I'm thinking and trying to, strategize. And it's like, okay, so if someone gets a pension, they could get that money and have a part-time job. And if they're doing fine, that's another reason to wait to collect your Social Security.
Right, yeah, especially if they have the pension and maybe working a part-time job, maybe their spouse is still working, you probably have plenty of income, and then you could go ahead and delay Social Security. Of course, there's a whole cost benefit with delaying Social Security at that point too, but yeah, those are some big considerations.
Yeah.
And also, if you're working part-time in retirement, you have the ability to contribute to a Roth IRA.
Okay, so I was going to ask you that. So you cannot contribute to your established, like if you have a 401k or a 403b,
exactly.
and the pension, well, you don't contribute to your pension, but those other retirement accounts has to be earned income from that employer, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so the funds can't cross, but you have those independent IRAs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you retire from the Indiana Public Retirement System, you can't contribute to your 403b anymore.
Okay.
You're not getting any income from the school or wherever you're working. You can't contribute to the 403b, but you can establish your own Roth IRA, individual retirement account, and you'd be able to contribute to that. And so there are certain limits and everything like that. But again, in the scenario that we talked about, if somebody was getting their pension, maybe they're working a part-time job, maybe they do have Social Security on. If they have more income than what they need, we should certainly contribute it to a tax-free retirement account like a Roth IRA.
Yeah, absolutely. So many options.
Yeah.
And you have to probably really love that part-time job, because once it's time to retire, you may just want to retire, and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for this information today,
Yeah,
Caleb.
thank you.
And if you would like more information about Foster Financial, we'll have their phone number listed below. Give them a call for a complimentary consultation, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.